Hello, and welcome to the 21-Day Self-Transformation. And today we're going to be talking about processing. And I know that's what a lot of us seem to be going through right now. You're processing all these emotions, whether they be negative or positive, dark or light, however you want to phrase it. I'm going to start off first with a quote, a quote from Adyashanti, and it says, "Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagine to be true." And I know in Sue's video, she was talking about it is a destructive process, and it is. And, it seems like we're stuck with these emotions, and they hold a lot of energy. And freeing that energy is the fastest and most effective method to awaken and heal ourselves, to accomplish any of our goals. We tend to stuff these uncomfortable feelings and deny them, bury them, even avoid them or attempt to medicate them, through drugs or alcohol. Most of us spend a huge amount of our life avoiding or suppressing these feelings instead of expressing them. And this can be exhausting and frustrating, even damaging to our lives and others as well. There seems to be a better way, at least from what I have found, and I see it again and again. As dark, uncomfortable feelings transform into love, freeing huge amounts of life energy and awareness that has been stuck inside of us. Now, it's a slow-going process, I know, but like I said, it's not always a comfortable process. And, some folks, like myself, we try to meditate our way out of this trouble, but often end up rising above it all. And they get to a great state while meditating, and for the time after, they just kind of end up back at their baseline, our base state of consciousness. And they're not really changing at all. So, if you can afford therapy, that can be helpful. But, even with therapists that take years, it could take years to make progress. And I truly think that we're all capable of doing it ourselves. Now, insight can be helpful and useful, but the solutions to our problem lie below the level of thought. It's in the realm of feeling our emotions, actually, like I said, processing these emotions. Now, I've come to understand that, working through these dark emotions, it's uncomfortable. In a safe and loving environment, you can totally change your own life, or someone else's. And it can happen quickly in a course of over a couple of days. People often think that, we have the right experience, everything will change better. Whether it's finding the right diet or finding the right method, whatever it may be. These experiences can be helpful, but the results often, they don't last. Because eventually we'll just sink back into the same old patterns. So you really need to change your story. And the universe is made up of stories, not atoms. And what do I mean by story? Our story is a pattern of thoughts, feelings, and perceptions that make our sense of identity, basically. It's our self. It's built up from, our childhood experiences on up through adulthood. And they reinforce as we grow older. And our story informs us about who we are, what sort of world we live in, and where we're going. So, basically, it's up to us to process and go through these emotions. And, it's not, like I said, always a pleasant experience, but I've said it before, as we're going through this process, the way it's coming at us, and I don't know that time has sped up, but I know our pace of life has definitely sped up. And with all this energy coming in, we really don't have time to sit and sulk or ponder these things. You pretty much got to process these things in real time and keep it moving. Otherwise, that's why there's so much frustration and anger out there, because all of these emotions that people are feeling from these energies coming in, it gets overwhelming. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for meditation, for me, like, I'd be cuckoo. And I'm not saying I'm not, but I would be in a much, worse state than I am now. So I guess really my point here is I know, like I said, you got to process it quick, but take enough time to feel each one of those emotions, whether they're positive or negative, and really sort it through and, feel those emotions and then just let it go. Keep it moving. Because otherwise, if not, probably going to end up in a padded cell or just in a very deep, depressed state of anger. And I know that any of you watching this are way better than that. So the only thing I can say, as far as all these emotions coming through, keep it moving.